Yeah, so I think it started when my oldest brother, Billy, got a guitar when he was 13. And me and Taylor just kind of followed along after that, I think. And, he got a drum set. I think he got a snare drum, like a single snare drum first. But then he got a cousin's drum, or our cousin was a musician too. But our cousin gave us a drum set, and then I followed along with the bass. And it's gone through a lot of lineups since then. We've had like another cousin play piano. Had some people kind of coming in and out, but yeah, it was that's kind of how it started. We listened to a lot of like records like when we were little, and I think like the biggest influence, or one of the biggest influences we have is like the Grateful Dead, the band, a lot of 70s stuff. But obviously, like, yeah, that was kind of our foundation, and then we kind of grew. We listened to a lot of like jazz fusion stuff, like funky stuff. And then, I mean, we pretty much listened to everything, and I think, influenced by everything, but I think that combination of like folky rock mixed with like funky stuff is I think that's like the biggest kind of takeaway from those groups. For songwriting, not that I write like him or anything, but I really like Taylor Goldsmith, who's of Dawes. He's a really good songwriter, but he's definitely somebody that I wish I could be, songwriting wise. But I like him. He's kind of modern. Obviously, like, classic, like Bob Dylan. I also like a lot of Jim James, which is My Morning Jacket. I like his stuff too. Ray LaMontagne's another kind of modern songwriter that I like a lot. Whenever somebody has a song, I usually write it on the acoustic guitar, and so I'll work it up, and I kind of have, a pretty good vision of what the overall sound is going to be like. So after I get it, 60% there, I'll bring it to the band, show the guys. Hopefully they like it. It's kind of intimidating. It's kind of scary a little bit, but yeah, showing it to them, and then we kind of rework it, and create a sound for it, and kind of get the harmonies down and that sort of stuff. So yeah. This last album we did it a little bit differently because pretty much we didn't learn any of the songs beforehand. So we pretty much went into the studio and like I taught them the song, and then we just kind of did our like first impression kind of thing, where it's just like play the first thing you think of. Because sometimes like I feel like we'll record stuff, and that first idea you had was like really good, and then you totally forget it, and you come back and you're like, oh, like what was that thing I played? I don't remember. And then it just like goes away. Somehow you can never get it back. So we were kind of like jumping on that sort of idea. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Take a walk in Reno, but you won't get very far. Tumbleweed on the street, rolling by an empty bar. I've seen deserts, never quite like this. Stood a car like a deer in the headlights. Take my time. back road, no one is inside. Still got caught like a deer in headlights. Take my time and I'll be alright. Slowing down. Take your time and you'll be fine. Slowing down. Waiting for summer days, lying out in the sun. Thinking back to yesterday when we were free to run. Yeah, I heard a sound deep in the night. Still got caught like a deer in headlights. Take my time and I'll be alright. Slowing down. Take your time and you'll be fine. Slowing Slowing down, I mean, the song is about slowing down. So I think that was like the first takeaway that I had, like in March 2020, April 2020, of just like, you know, kind of teaching you to slow down and, you know, take a deep breath and kind of look at what's going on and try to organize your life. It taught us that, and we kind of, you know, practiced a lot more, or more than we did, I think. Because we had a little bit more time, and just by slowing down we kind of realized, hey, we should probably like get better, keep getting better. So it was nice, and being brothers too, we were able to kind of still meet up throughout the COVID, and you know, keeping at a distance and all that stuff, but we were able to still rehearse and play, which we're, you know, super grateful for. So it's been interesting. It's playing out. We played a couple shows out in the past year or so, and all outside. I think that was kind of, I don't know, it's just so more, not that it wasn't exciting before, but when you play like 3 or 4 times a week or whatever, you kind of just get in a rhythm. And this was like, there's one show and it's outside, and I haven't heard live music in 6 months, so it's like so exciting to play. So I think that's been a positive. We definitely amped up our social media. I think just because we had a little bit more time to like research and like try to figure out like, all right, like what, you know, the whole live streaming thing was a big curveball for us, big learning curve. We tried to do that for like 4 or 5 months, and still like wasn't quite for us. It definitely can benefit a lot of people for sure. But for us, it just didn't quite feel right, and we never got the sound right and all the technical stuff. So we kind of gave that up. But social media presence, I think, was huge for us, just because we couldn't, you couldn't see anybody. So just like trying to engage with fans and friends, and just kind of trying to figure, like, yeah, how can I like stay connected with you without being around live music. So I think that was kind of the biggest reason why we kind of amped it up. And I think, yeah, I watched a lot of and read a lot of stuff about how to do it right and how to do it well, which is kind of a beast. But it's kind of, it's kind of fun. I like doing it.
dash on my dash for the train. Nothing to lose and nothing to gain. I said once is more than I'd like. Twice is always a fight. I said 3 times the charm. You said it's the end, making the same mistake. Made some mistakes, can't count them all on my fingers, and worst of all, I burned all my bridges the best that I can. Now I'm worried I'll be a lonely man. I said once is more than I'd like. Twice it's always a fight. I said 3 times the charm. You said it's the end, making the same mistakes. Making the same mistake. Making the same damn mistake. Making the same mistake. Making the same damn mistake.
Exeter Parks and Rec has been great to keep the shows going throughout this crazy time. But yeah, the parking lot show last year, which is cool, was like the drive-in. That was like, I think, the first show that we had that was like since March 2020. So that was like really exciting. But yeah, they always do a good job getting good groups in here and putting on a good show, and great little location for some music. So I'm glad we're doing it this year. I mean, I don't know if this is interesting, but we're bringing in our own sound, like a big sound system, and that's always like really fun to play with. So I'm looking forward to kind of just like not blasting, but just like having good energy and playing. I mean, it's just good to play for kind of a hometown. Like, we're not technically from Exeter, but just this area kind of feels good to play at. See familiar faces and stuff like that, and especially after last year, it would be good. So excited to just play outside and see some people out there, and got some nice trees to look at while you're playing. So it's a small community, but it feels big. So I think kind of like the small town feel of it, like, makes everybody like pretty friendly, and I think like and everybody's kind of doing different things, and everybody kind of supports each other with that. And I think like the diversity of music genres is pretty cool. And you know, there's some people all around here will go to any type of show, which I think is cool. And I think you know, what was I gonna say? Well, I just wanted to mention kind of the Stone Church. just because, especially during like COVID, it's kind of been apparent of like what, you know, how close the community is, because like the Stone Church, they've been putting on shows pretty much the whole way through. People are still coming. I mean, they're outside, but people are still coming and supporting artists and stuff like that. And I think that's cool, and they've done a good job keeping that going. And I think COVID is tough for, it's tough for everybody, but it's good for musicians. It was good to show how many people, you know, did the live streams and people supporting that, and so yeah, it's good. It's a good little spot. Yeah, so we put out an album in January, so that's been interesting without playing any shows. We're very little shows, but yeah, the album, yeah, like I was talking about a little bit before, is we kind of went into the studio, and there's a barn that we play at, our piano player's barn. We call it the Mad Cherry Barn. Great rehearsal space, and we've recorded the album in there. So we kind of just went in. We had all the time in the world, and kind of just recorded. Said, "Go here, you know, here are the chords. Play what you want." So it was kind of that. It's really honest and really kind of just authentic, I think. And that's kind of how we like to play our live shows too. So I think it kind of embodies our live show a little bit. But yeah, it's a good little story. It kind of goes through all the songs, and yeah, Friends, Lovers, and Radios is the name of it. But yeah, it's been cool. I'm excited. We're kind of doing a release, like a release show, but we're kind of doing it in reverse. So we're kind of like playing a bunch of shows where you can get the CD if you want, but at the end of like in the fall, I think we'll have a big release party show. Well, it's actually funny too. Tom, that's another kind of a little bit of an added thing too for this last record, is that I showed him a lot of the songs before I showed my brothers, to kind of get a songwriter, his opinion on it, and he kind of helped me develop some songs a little bit more before I brought it to them. So that was cool. But I think I actually haven't written any songs. Actually, no, that's not true. There's one song I've written for the Midnight Wrens. Everything else is Tom's stuff. But we'll cover like a Kenny Brothers tune or something during the show or something, and I'll hop on the vocal or whatever. But yeah, that one song actually was kind of funny that he's like, hey, I have this, like, he had this like very small idea, like nothing really worked up at all, and he's like, write me a song in like 30 minutes. And I tried, and I don't know if it was 30 minutes, but it's one of the quickest songs I've ever written. And and I did it, and we still play it out, so I hope it's good. It's good. But I think the biggest thing is practicing. I think just keep practicing. That's definitely a huge thing. Keep getting better. Find something in music because there's a lot of different ways you can pursue music, and just to kind of like keep your options open and kind of like dabble in a bunch of different things. And then once you find something that you really like say you like I don't know, creating music for video games, or being an engineer, like a studio engineer, or there's a bunch of different stuff, or just simply playing an instrument too. I think yeah, once you find something that you like, just stick to it. Waking up. All right. It's called Friends, Lovers, and Radios.
Come and take